last night was fun. Our Q&A, there were 16 people there for this small group, and came together as couples and just started asking questions. So we typically, our Q&As, we have people submit questions, but the leader was like, we don't need to do that. People are pretty open. And as soon as we walked in, people were firing off questions, and it was awesome. And so we had the opportunity to just sit and process with the couples, which was really fun and exciting. Now I'm up going to a mom's group this morning, full of women who are just trying to connect in community with their moms. And I was thinking, as I was getting ready this morning, I'm like, wow, I'm wearing dress pants again. And I usually don't wear dressed up pants 2 days in a row. And I am, for some reason. I've wrestled with that the last few years, and wearing jeans and just being more casual. And whenever I first started out practicing about 7 years ago, I used to dress up, make sure people knew that I was the real deal. But I was overcompensating with my looks, trying to make sure people, make sure that I felt approved by other people. And so now that I feel more confident in my skills, I guess we'll say, I want to present a more authentic self. So if I'm asking people to be authentic and vulnerable with what they're coming in with, I kind of want to do the same thing. And so if dressing up isn't who I am, then I don't want to do that. I don't want to present myself in that way either. So usually I wear jeans to work, and I can tell that bothers people sometimes, but I can't change who I am to please other people if that doesn't really fit my personality. So I wrestle with that. What is the psychology around people dressing up to go to work? What the appropriateness is for me too. So I went to the office and got my mail. Addie sent us some information. So this is the type of mail that we get as a sex therapist. Some stuff about Addie. There it is right there. And they sent us these awesome sexual desire screeners to screen for if our clients are good candidates for Addie. And this is for people who meet the criteria for hypoactive sexual desire disorders. And so it's kind of like, they consider it the female Viagra. But what it does is, Viagra really has to do with blood flow. And Addie has to do with, they recognize that our brain is our largest sex organ. So Addie actually talks to the neurotransmitters within our mind to allow for that sexual desire to increase. So it works from the brain, so you take it every day, versus something like Viagra, which you would take situationally. So it's really cool. If you guys are ever interested, I can give you more information about it, or you can look at it online too. And our partner, one of our partners, Dr. Somi Javed, is one of the biggest distributors to Addie in the area. She's up in Mason, Ohio. So if you're ever interested, you should check her out. Today I'm seeing very similar clients actually, and they all have some sort of sexual disorder or dysfunction, which makes sense because the American Medical Association says that 30 to 40% of men and women struggle with some sort of sexual disorder or dysfunction. Many of those that I'm seeing have this thing called vaginismus, and then someone with premature ejaculation. So those are the types of people that I'm seeing today. This to me is helping to normalize the conversation a little bit more. And we get a lot of questions about, what do you do as a sex therapist? What does sex therapy look like? And so taking you through a day-to-day of, this is what we do, might give you a better picture of what's going on in our practice, and then also what a sex therapist looks like. Tonight I'm doing a group experience with my husband Manuel. We are doing a group together called Celebration of Sex, and whenever I introduce the group, the leaders of the spiritual growth team encouraged me to lead it with my husband Manuel, and not only to lead it with him, but also do the exercises together with him. here are the books that we work through. Celebration of Sex. And then they also have this workbook, Celebration of Sex. This week we are working on, let me get to it. Last week it was making love with our clothes on. And then this week it is mutual pleasuring. And then creative intercourse. What's cool about this is that one of the big populations that we see are people who struggle with sex and spirituality. And so this is actually from a Christian perspective, where we break down scripture and we try and figure out how to be creative and intertwining and breaking down the shaming messages around sex within the Bible and around messages we've heard growing up or whatever that looks like, and what God designed sex to look like. So that is what this group is going to do tonight.